Hello everybody and welcome to my very first episode on my brand new channel. Like I say, obviously I did the introduction yesterday, just kind of introducing myself and kind of setting the scene a bit. So we're going to start by doing some Premier League predictions tonight actually, and I think that my ideal scenario was actually to go live and to get a few guests on, but unfortunately I didn't realise that StreamYard, if you're doing it for the first time, you have to get approved before you can go live. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a pre-recorded version of this, and it'll just be me doing the predictions this week. But next week, it'll all be sorted, and we'll get a few guests on to predict the scores and things like that. So yeah, so let's kick things off then. Absolutely brilliant, weekend of action really, with the fixtures that are going to be happening. So we're going to start with the lunchtime game on Saturday, tomorrow lunchtime, and it is Newcastle versus Liverpool. Now, this is going to be a really fantastic match actually, because obviously I think that something that I've kind of put down here is that it is really difficult place to go, St James's Park, and I think that obviously Liverpool are chasing Man City, obviously only a point in it now, so they're second at the moment, and it'll definitely be a big test for them. Like I say, it's just one of those that it's never an easy place to go to, like I said to you before, but I think I'm still going to go with a Liverpool win on this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool for this one. I think that, Newcastle, will have the fans behind them. Of course they will. They're always a loud atmosphere there, but I just think Liverpool have too much for them in this one. So I'm going Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. And then the next game, so starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow, is Aston Villa versus Norwich. Like I say, I think Villa have had a fairly decent season. I think that maybe wanted to do a bit better than they are performing at the moment. Obviously 15th in the league with 37 points. It's a decent amount, but obviously I think that obviously quite a lot of Villa fans were wanting a bit more, but obviously Gerrard has really done a fantastic job at Villa, to be fair. I think that he's come in and really revitalised the club, and I think that he's really brought the club together, and really I think he's a fantastic manager as well. I think he's one of those that will keep improving. Obviously he's still a fairly new manager, obviously, and but yeah, he's definitely got the managerial ability, and yeah, it's great to see him doing well at Aston Villa. And then obviously Norwich, obviously route to the bottom of the table. Norwich at the moment with 21 points. Let's be honest, a very slim chance of staying up now. I think that obviously it's game that right now, and it's just inevitable. I think that in this one, I think that Villa do win. I think they win comfortably as well. I think they're going to win 3-0. I think that, obviously at Villa Park as well, really special atmosphere, and, it's one of those. I think it's a fantastic occasion, and I think that obviously Norwich will battle for sure. They've battled all season, haven't they? But they'll just come short. So the next game, obviously, is Southampton versus Crystal Palace. Now, for me, I think that Southampton will go into this feeling fairly confident, because I think that Palace have really struggled since the FA Cup, kind of semi-finals, and I think that they've really struggled, really. And obviously, Southampton are in 13th place, so they had a fairly decent season, and then obviously Palace in 14th, so it's very close. But for me, I think that Southampton just win this one. I'm going Southampton 2, Crystal Palace 1. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, who comes out on top. But yeah, for me, Southampton do. Then on to the next one. So this is an absolutely massive match at the bottom of the Premier League, in the fight for survival. Watford versus Burnley. Now, like I said, Burnley find themselves in 17th place, and like I said, they're finally out of the relegation zone after quite a while being in it. And I think that, Watford, obviously below them as well. So Watford are below them and in 19th place. And yeah, I think they're going to struggle in this one, Watford, unfortunately. And I fancy Burnley to win it. I really do, because they are they are finding some form. Obviously, with Sean Dyche getting sacked, a lot of people was very, negative towards that decision, and rightly so, by the way, because I think that what Sean Dyche has done for the club, his loyal service to the club, and he deserved better than how they treat him. But it seems to have worked, because Burnley are getting results now, which is a shame that they couldn't really do that for Sean Dyche, who was given so much for the football club. But it is one of those. I didn't necessarily agree with Sean Dyche getting sacked. I think it was a really bad decision, but it may actually work. But like I said, I still don't agree with the fact that they sacked him the way they did, and at that stage of the season as well. So, but yeah, obviously if they do win, they can go 5 points clear of the relegation zone with this win, and like I said, Burnley are going to be well up for this, and I think that they're finding confidence as well. So I think that Burnley win 2-0. Very brave, but I think they're going to win 2-0. So yeah, good luck to them anyway, because I think that Burnley are a fantastic football club, and I think that, they deserve to stay up, really. I think that obviously, if you're down there for a reason, but, I think the great set of fans, and I think that it's good to have a team like Burnley in the Premier League. I think they give something different, and it's just incredible how they've been able to, on the budget that they've been on, been able to, consolidate themselves in the Premier League, and and really, just really make themselves a Premier League outfit. If you get what I'm saying, because kind of obviously, first season is all about just staying up, and then second season you want to stay up, and then, like I say, if you cement yourself as a Premier League club officially, as they say, Burnley have definitely done that over the years, and yeah, it'd be, like I said, I really hope they do stay up. But winning tomorrow will be massive. It will be a massive step forward, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go on to the next game of the weekend. So it's Wolves versus Brighton now. Obviously, Wolves are in 8th place. They've had an absolutely fantastic season, haven't they, really? I mean, 49 points. And then Brighton find themselves in 11th place with 41 points. So not much between them, in all fairness. But I think that, obviously, this will be a really good match. Like I say, really, be interesting to see what happens here as well. And I think that I'm going to go with a Wolves win here. I think that they do win it. And I'm going to go 3-1 to Wolves, I think, for this one. I think that Brighton will score, but I just don't think Wolves, at home at Molineux again, they've been fantastic at home, and I think that they'll come out on top, really. So, yeah. And then, moving on, so the tea time game is Leeds versus Manchester City. Now, obviously, Leeds are in 16th place with 34 points. And then, obviously, Manchester City at the top with 80 points. So this is a massive game for both sides, really, because obviously Leeds are still not out of, the relegation fight picture at the moment. I think that they're still down there, with a possible chance of going down. But, and obviously Manchester City, they want to just keep picking up those points nicely and really trying to gain a cushion over Liverpool, because obviously they did have a massive cushion at one point, but obviously they've lost that now. So yeah, they'll be looking to really get back with a bit of a cushion, just to take the pressure off a bit, really. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I think that Leeds, though, I think are fairly lucky that, there's been teams worse than them this season, because I think they've had a really poor season on the whole, and I think that, it's... Yeah, I just think that, had it not been, the teams that are down there, I think they would have been relegated had they not got a bit of luck with the other teams not doing so well. So I think that next season they definitely have to, be a lot better, because otherwise I don't think they'll survive next season if they perform like they have this season. I know they've had a lot of injuries, though, to be fair to them, but and obviously changing managers as well. But you've got to compete, and if you're not able to do that, they've been far too open at the back for me this season. I think the shape has been awful. I think that and that's why I'm going to go with a City win, and I'm going to go a comfortable win as well. I'm going to go 4-0 City. I know it's at Ellen Road, obviously. It's always loud at Ellen Road when the fan, they get a great following, to be fair to them, but I think that City will win this quite comfortably. I think, like I say, the defensive leads have been caught far too many times this season, and like I say, against a team as clinical as City, I just only see it going one way, really. It definitely senses danger for them. So, yeah, Manchester City 4, Leeds United 0. So yeah, that's my predictions for Saturday's fixtures. We're going to go on to Sunday now, where is another massive game to kick off the day by Everton versus Chelsea. Now, this is crucial. Like I say, I think it's a massive game for both teams, really, because like I say, I think obviously Chelsea in third, they're looking to secure that top 4 place, because it's still not secured yet. And Everton, like you say, fighting for their lives at the bottom to try and get out of the bottom 3. Now they're in it. It's going to be really, really tough for them. I kind of want to just touch upon Everton for a bit now, before we go on to Chelsea. But I think for me, they've been the surprise package this season. I don't think anybody expected them to be down there. But unfortunately, they've had a very, very poor season. I think that the players at their disposal as well, they should be doing so much better than they have done, and there's no excuses really. And they're down there for a reason, and I think that, in all fairness, it's been one of those kind of, once you do, go on a bad run, it can escalate. And I kind of want to kind of touch upon, Frank Lampard, obviously. I'm really not convinced about Frank Lampard, if I'm quite honest with you, because I think that if you look at his career, as a player, he was absolutely incredible. We all know this. He had a fantastic career, playing, but being a manager is a totally different kettle of fish, really. And I think that the only, if you go back to his, his like clubs that he's managed, he only got the Chelsea job because of what he did at Chelsea playing for them. Then obviously went to Derby, did quite well for Derby, obviously, nearly getting them promoted, got all the way to the playoff final, and then just came up short. But I'm just not convinced. I think that his managerial ability is quite a lot less than his, obviously when he was playing. So, and I think that, the manager has to take some responsibility for this. Where Everton are as well, and obviously Lampard being there. Yeah, but that's kind of just one kind of comment that I want to make about that, really. That obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I love Frank Lampard. I think he's been a fantastic player for, English player for us. But yeah, I'm not quite so sure about his managerial expertise, if you could say. So obviously, he's still a fairly new manager, though, to be fair to him. But and I may be proved wrong in the future, but he just seems to be struggling a lot, really, at Everton. Now, obviously, Everton have been a lot better at Goodison Park than obviously away from home, and like I say, if they play like they did against Liverpool, which I think everyone was thinking, really, obviously going into the game, that kind of Liverpool was really strong favourites for this one, and I think that Everton really put up a fight, and I think that if they would have, played like that, with the other games that they've had for the season, I think they wouldn't have been down there. But and then if they can show that kind of fight from now until the end of the season, they may have a chance of getting out of it. But from my point of view, I don't see them getting out of it now. They've slipped into the relegation zone. I think that Burnley have more experience of being down in that situation. Obviously, Everton is a total unknown, and I think that for me, it'll be such a massive shock if they go down, because I've never known as big of a club like Everton go down. I've never known it before. So it would be just really, really damaging for the club, really, and obviously a lot of the players will want to leave as well, which may just kind of disjoint the whole squad. But yeah, but like I say, and then going on to Chelsea, obviously they've had a fairly decent season, to be fair to them. I think that obviously, I think that being in third, I think they would have liked to have been pushing for the title, but obviously that hasn't worked out for them. But they still find themselves in third position, in a nice position, and I think that next season they'll really push on to try and get that title. But obviously with Lukaku coming in as well, obviously he's been a real disappointment for me. I think that he's not really showcased what he can do. Now, whether, obviously, which is a big surprise really, because obviously he was at Chelsea before, so he knows the club inside out, he knows the place, and it's not as if it's a new club, but I just don't think, he's just not performed to the level that, he's shown, for his previous clubs. So, yeah, but obviously some fantastic talent in there, youngsters, Reece James, Chalobah's really come on this season for them. Mason Mount, like I say, outstanding, and yeah, brilliant youngsters at the club. And I'm going to go for a 4-1 win to Chelsea for this one. I just can't see Everton winning here. And the defensive frailties of Everton have been found out way too many times. And I just think they'll be too strong Chelsea for them. So yeah, that is my prediction for that one. I'm going to go on to the Spurs versus Leicester game, which is 5th against 10th. Now, obviously, it's another massive game, this, because, there's a lot on the line for Tottenham here, because, obviously, they're still looking to push into that top 4 position, obviously 2 points off 4th at the moment, and like I said, they need to be winning to keep in touching distance of Arsenal, because, if they lose, and then, obviously, Arsenal win, then the gap extends even more. So I think for Tottenham to get in the top 4, I think that they'll have to win all their games. And, that's by no means impossible, but it'll be a big ask for them. But in this one, I think that obviously, less, like I said, I think that obviously Tottenham have been, kind of had a stop-start season, really. They've been brilliant in some games, but not so good in others. So that consistency, I suppose they've struggled with over the seasons anyway, to be fair to them, has been this kind of repeat this season as well. So obviously Leicester, moving on to Leicester, obviously they're in 10th, 42 points, I mean, they've had a decent season, to be fair. I don't know, what the feeling is amongst Leicester fans, but they've not really been that great recently. I think that, but to be fair to them, I think that they were trying to fight for that top 4 place at one point, but then obviously they kind of just dropped off a bit. So I think Spurs have momentum here. I think that they really do, and I think that I'm going to go for a 4-2 win to them. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Leicester are always able to score, but sometimes they've been, I think that they'll just concede too many, and yeah. So I'm gonna go Tottenham Hotspur 4, Leicester 2 for this one. So it's going to be a great game, that one, for Super Sunday. And then here we are, the pick of the bunch, the West Ham versus Arsenal game. It is a massive derby, this. There's a lot at stake. Like I say, I think that Arsenal have to keep themselves in that top 4. And I think that a win here will really help the cause. I think, but again, West Ham are looking to finish the season as high as they can, chasing down, obviously, Europa League footballing in next season. But obviously, if they are in, like I said, they're in the Europa League semi-final at the moment. Unfortunately, a bad result for them last night. But they're going to have to try and do something, in the remaining fixture. But I thought they was actually going to go to the final in the Europa League, actually, and potentially win it. But it looks a big ask now, but we'll see. But yeah, like I said, West Ham are looking to finish as high as they can. And yeah, so I think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a really, really brilliant game, and I think that Arsenal will just take this one, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal. So yeah, that's my predictions for the Sunday fixtures in the Premier League. And then we have got some Monday night football happening. It's Manchester United against Brentford. Like I say, Man United have had such a terrible season. I'm sure we can all agree on this. There's so many players that have underperformed. There's been really serious issues, and I think it's not just based upon, what's been happening on the pitch. There's a lot been happening off the pitch, as we know, and there's a lot of unrest, obviously, with various topics, and it's been difficult for them this season for sure. I think they've had, like I said, there's just been far too many players that have just not performed. And obviously the managerial situation as well, it's not been ideal, has it? And obviously, Man United not having Champions League football next season, let's be honest, is a disaster. And obviously, they find themselves, 5 points adrift now. And yeah, it doesn't look good for them to get into that top 4. I think, to be fair, in my opinion, I think their chance of top 4 is over. I think that, I think obviously there's been a lot of unrest at Old Trafford. I think that, a lot of protests about how the club's being run as well. And yeah, it's not been the most best time for the United fans this season, but I'm sure they'll be back at some point, but it will take a big rebuild, unfortunately. The club seems to be in an absolute mess from top to bottom. But yeah, and then obviously going on to Brentford, obviously, they've had a fantastic season, let's be honest, They've got to the 40 points mark, and let's talk about Christian Eriksen, what an absolute revelation he's been. I think obviously, first of all, it's incredible to actually see him back playing football, because obviously when he had that cardiac arrest, that horrible, watch when we was watching on the TV, I think we all kind of felt like, I did anyway, I think that his career was over, because, it's one of those, obviously, things have happened in the past with, likes of, Mwamba as well, who was playing for Bolton at the time, who had a cardiac arrest and then had to retire because of it. But obviously Christian Eriksen had to go through so many tests to be able to get back playing, and he's been able to do it, so, why not? And I think that full credit to him, because it's like he's not been away. He's just the amount of, the impact he's had this season for Brentford has been truly incredible. And I think that, there'll be a lot of clubs in for him this summer. I know there will be, because I've already started hearing the rumours about it. And obviously, he's also been linked back with Tottenham, and I don't think he'd look out of place there either. I think that He would fit right at home. Obviously he knows the club inside out, and it'd be a great move for him to go back there. But obviously there'll be plenty of clubs wanting his services really. With the season he's had, but arguably Brentford want to be keeping him as well. So we'll just have to see how that pans out really. But it's one of those. So for me, based on what I truly believe, I'm gonna go for a Brentford win. I really am, because obviously I know it's at Old Trafford, but I sense this game will go the way that quite a lot of games are going to Old Trafford, where Man United will start off slow, the fans will get on the back, that'll play into Brentford's hands, and I think that Brentford will take advantage of that. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see Eriksen really getting his name on the score sheet here. And yeah, I just fancy Brentford for this one, 1-0. So yeah, that is all your Premier League predictions for this weekend. I'm really excited to catch some of the action. Obviously, I'll be and ironically, in the future, I'm hoping that Huddersfield Town are in the Premier League, back in the Premier League. Obviously, that is a team I support. Everybody. Obviously, I'm a big follower of football, but obviously, my team that I support, since I was young is Huddersfield, and yeah. So if you didn't already know, yeah, that's who I am, who I support. So yeah, that's for another day though, because we will be doing some other, we're going to be looking at the Championship, predictions, possibly moving forward as well. I want to do a mix. So yeah, but yeah, thank you so much everybody for coming to tune in for this pre-recorded video. We are going to be doing some live streams next week. After once StreamYard activates my account, so I can go live on stream, and it'll be great to get some guests on as well, which we'll be making sure we do. But I really hope you like this video. To be fair, there's always room for improvements, and I think that for me, it's about just building on what I'm doing, and I think that this is a good starting point. And yeah, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe, please share, and please like the video. Comment below your predictions for the weekend if you wish. I'm happy to, to engage with you all via the comment section. And any kind of content ideas that you'd like me to do going forward, please let me know. I'm really interested to see what you guys want to kind of, what you want me to do, going forward. Because like I said, I love talking football. I'm so passionate about it. And I'll be looking to do some watch-alongs at some point as well, which will be exciting. And, but yeah, any content ideas, post them in the comments as well. I really appreciate that. But yeah, please subscribe, please like, please comment, and please share with everybody. And yeah, let's hopefully keep growing this channel. Obviously, it's only been a day old, so yeah. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one, which will hopefully be a live stream. Not sure what day, but keep an eye on our socials. I'll post my socials in the description below. And yeah, I'll catch you all soon. Have a good weekend and take care, everybody. Thank you. Yeah.